All right, guys, welcome back to the shop. We've been working on this hunting knife. This is the first one of my my hunting knives that I want to make the same every time. And you can see we've got this up here. We only sanded it to 320. I started with a 240. First, after we got it out of the temper, out of the oven, we cleaned it up with Scotch-Brite pad, and then we sanded on it with 240, and then we moved up to 320, and we're going to leave it at that. It's a nice, kind of a nice matte finish. You know, it's not mirror shine, but it's pretty. And you'll see a couple of little marks in it here and there that we couldn't get perfect. But that's just, you know, part of the deal, man, when you're doing this. If I wanted to sit there for 3 or 4 days sanding on it, I could get it nice and beautiful, but we're not going to do that. So I want to keep the production time down as much as I can on these knives. That's a nice finish. And you can see we only sanded it back here to where the front of our brass is going to be, because we want this to be rough. So this is just still rough grinder lines on there to help our epoxy stick. So today we're going to get to work on this handle. I got the blade, the finish sanding all done on the blade. We didn't film any of that. It's just me sitting there with a stick and a piece of sandpaper for hours on end. So now we're going to cut our brass. We've got this side marked out where our brass is going to go right here. This hole is obsolete, so we're going to just leave that hole, fill it up with, because we were going to have our brass angle up like this. We were going to have our brass come and follow this angle here. But using a jig, we had to grind our bevels like this. So if we tried to put our brass like this from this corner, I just don't think it would look right. It'd throw stuff off. So we're just going to put our brass straight, and then we're going to put some Bolivian rosewood scales on here. So thanks again for being here, everybody. Let's get to it. Alright guys, here's where we are on our knife. We've got our scale liners on, our brass is on, semi-shaped, but that's what we were looking at. Now I had a little problem. These liners, I'm probably not going to buy them again because they're basically made out of paper. And they said that it was vulcanized something or other, but anyways, basically just paper. And when I glued these on here, you see I glued the black and the red together first, and then I cut them out and glued them onto the knife as one. Well, when I was done and I took my clamps off and stuff, we had delamination of the red from the black, and I don't know why that would be, if it sucked up the glue or if I just didn't get it cut. But anyway, I'm not real impressed with it. When you grind it, it just kind of shreds like paper, and you end up with these little pieces of paper sticking out that you've got to trim off. And so anyway, I ended up having to put I whittled down a little stick here, and I ended up putting epoxy in between the black and the red paper here on both sides on this part of the spine here to get it to stick together properly. So now we've just got to kind of clean this excess glue off of the back of the spine here and get ready to put our Bolivian rosewood scales on here.